Welcome back to What's New. Betsy told me yesterday that her world record for keeping an orchid alive was 6 days.
Oh my God.
So they probably weren't going to call her for their new Orchids Forever, which is at the Cleveland Botanical Garden right now. Now, if they ever do an Orchids for 6 days, you're in.
I think they will like shut down if I even go on the property. No, keep her out. There are more than 3,000 orchids there. They are so beautiful, and I promise there are people who actually know what they're doing to keep them alive. Digital anchor Stephanie Haney has a live first look for us at Orchid Mania and this beautiful event that is going on. And what information do we need to know about it, Steph?
I'll tell you what, Betsy, I'm right behind you with that record. It's about 6 weeks for me, so I wouldn't be setting up any displays at Orchids Forever either, which used to be called Orchid Mania. But to give us the lowdown on it, we've got Caroline Taint here with us. She is the VP of Horticulture and Collections. Caroline, can you tell us what's the theme this year of the display?
The theme is the color. The amazing range of beautiful colors that the orchids come in. Have you ever thought about why a flower is a certain color?
I haven't.
Come along and find out.
There are over 100 different types of orchids here, so tell us a little bit about this one we're looking at.
This is a dendrobium, typically called a Singapore orchid, but there are thousands and thousands of different types of orchids. So this is a dendrobium that has these beautiful, twisted, kind of almost like whirligig spiraled petals. And if you come into the show and you really get kind of deep in all of the displays, you'll see these very subtle sometimes, but sometimes really obvious differences. And it's interesting to wonder about that.
And as Caroline was sharing with me earlier, if you come in this year, you'll notice that things are at different levels because there's a reason behind that. Why is that, Caroline?
Well, we've really been thinking about how all of our guests love the show, and so we want to make it special for our little kiddies as well. So you can come with just the little tots who are just running around, and there'll be orchids down at their level. And also there's some little hidden treasures, some little people hiding in amongst the displays, and that's lovely to give them something to hunt for.
I was taking a peek at some of those earlier, and here's another one, Caroline, we'd love to hear a little more about. What can you tell us?
This is the Cattleya hybrid, and when you see that word hybrid, it means that there's been lots of crossing, that somebody has intentionally taken a male and a female plant and crossed them for an interesting offspring. So hybrid means bringing those two together, and we see a lot of orchid hybrids because they're very free like that.
And we are here in the Madagascar biome, and in this space, there's one particular one that's of interest. Well, there's lots of them that are of interest, but this one has something special about it. What's this, Caroline?
It really does. This is an oncidium, and it's tiny, isn't it? Look at the scale of that, much smaller than the others, and you wonder, but you know, his special trick? Scent.
Oh.
And so if you get really up close and personal to that orchid, you'll have just a beautiful waft of vanilla, creaminess. Some of the orchids smell like chocolates. Oh, don't eat them though.
No, that wouldn't be a good idea. I'm going to get in here and take a whiff of this. Oh my gosh, that smells incredible, Caroline. She is not kidding. You have to come to the Madagascar biome. You have to work your way around this bend, and you have to get a smell of that orchid if you do nothing else. And there's lots of opportunities to do that. Caroline, can you tell us what's your favorite part about putting together this display every year, 17th year?
17th year, but you know what? This year is very different. You might have been to Orchids Forever before, but we have really changed up how we display the orchids, and there's lots of new, beautiful varieties here. So come along and see. We will surprise you. And you know, if you like what you see, you can come and work here as well.
That's true. She was telling me there are lots of positions here at the Cleveland Botanical Garden, and I'll tell you, Jay and Betsy, great experience. We've got all the pricing on WKYC.com. It's a ticketed event, but they were thinking about the youngsters too. It's a lesser price for the youngins. 2 and under are free, and it's running through March 12th, Jay and Betsy. So if you can get out here, it's a beautiful experience. And by the way, nice and tropical here in the Madagascar biome today, if I do say so myself.
I bet, yeah. Very, very informational. Thank you very much, Stephanie. I appreciate that. And Bets, if you're looking for a little side gig, you know.
Well, as long as they keep me away from the orchids.
Yeah, well, that might be a problem.
I could probably help out in some other ways.
Okay, very, very good.